That the rain stops and when the sun shines, it's going to shine so brightly because during those rainy seasons you were still preparing yourself, preparing your soul, preparing your ideas, preparing your budget, preparing every single thing, that so that by the time the sun shines you are ready to start building on that foundation. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today and taking your time to listen to me talk. For those who are new to this channel, on this channel what we talk about is financial growth, personal growth, and everything that has to do with growth as an individual, because we are trying to burn those generational curses and actually build generational wealth. So welcome to my channel, and I really hope I do feed you guys with the information that you need. In today's topic, we'll be talking about embracing a growing mindset and how to become more disciplined. I actually wanted to dive into this conversation today is because I realized from my previous video last week on how to make your 9-to-5 work for you, I mentioned points, but it is quite impossible for you, a bit impossible for you to actually get started on that if you are not a disciplined person. So I actually decided that, you know what, today let me help my viewers dive into what exactly it is that is stopping them from becoming disciplined, so that we can break those curses and so that we can build those budgets as well. So the only way to become disciplined as a person is to practice consistency. And I actually realized this because I wanted to make this video based on 10 points on how you can become consistent, but I actually realized that there's so many other videos as well on YouTube where you can actually get to listen to someone actually tell you how to be disciplined. So in today's video, I wanted to dive into what exactly is stopping us as individuals from becoming disciplined, so we can do a full introspection on ourselves, fix those errors, and start again. So in today's video, I want us to look at what we are currently doing and what is stopping us from becoming a consistent person. So the first question I asked myself, and that is to get it out of the air for some of us who do not understand consistency in depth. I went to my best friend GPT and I asked GPT the question, and I'm like, dude, what is consistency and how can I use it to build discipline? GPT was like, girl, don't worry, I got you on this one. So consistency is showing up regularly and sticking to a plan or a habit, even when it is hard or even when it is slow. And it kind of spoke to me because I feel like that is where most of us fail when it comes to being consistent. The hard and the slow part. The moment it feels hard, we quit. Or the moment the progress takes time, we give up. So GPT says that is what consistency is. Showing up, building that habit regardless of how hard it is or how long it takes. And that actually spoke power into my mind, and I just wanted to share that with you guys a bit. Then I dived in deeper. I was like, okay, but GPT, my channel is about growing people financially as well, not just their personalities. So how can you become consistent in a financial way? So he says consistency in finance is the quiet, emphasis on quiet force that builds long-lasting wealth and financial peace. And guys, like I that one hit me so well because it brings me back to how we like to be loud about our progresses or our plans. We want to be vocal. We want validation on the plans that we have and what we are currently doing. But GPT says no, it's the quiet force, meaning you need to remain quiet. Do it in silence so that you can shine in the bright times. Do it in silence so that you can shine in public. Plant those seeds in silence so that you can reap them as they grow in public, and we can enjoy your fruits properly and the fruits of your labor in public. So quiet force, guys, like it can't get deeper than that. And that quiet force will create long-lasting wealth and financial peace. So yes, money is not loud, wealth is not loud, and building wealth doesn't want a loud person. Not loud as in you speak loud, but just eliminate being too vocal about your plans, even when it's not necessary. It's not everyone who deserves to know exactly what it is that is going on in your life. I mean, your partner is more than enough, and if you don't have a partner, then your cat is more than enough. You don't have to go around telling people what exactly it is that you want to build, because it creates some sort of resentment in people's hearts that, oh, okay, so Sitati wants to do that, but I don't want Sitati to do that because that will mean Sitati will be better than me. And this is a conversation that is happening in a person's heart. And just like that, a person holds you bad in their heart. And you wonder why your progress takes time. And you wonder why your plans are taking time. It's because the prayers in certain people's hearts towards you are not good at all. They are not positive at all, and they are the ones that are just leading you into falling back. So you do not need any validation from anyone. If you need validation, go to GPT. Like, he will validate your business plan and fix it for you and unfix it for you and fix it for you until you are happy. Like, people who want to flaunt the beginning of their business ideas to the whole world take their L's so difficult. It becomes so difficult for them to take their L's or take their failures, because now it is no longer just them who acknowledges that they failed, but it's a whole group of people in which they invited to see the beginning. And now the beginning is no longer going so well, and now the people there are now just laughing at you and they're speaking bad about you because you decided to flaunt the business idea in its early stages. Let it grow, let it become fruitful, let it multiply, and not just business ideas, jobs as well. If you're planning on applying for a certain position or a certain job, do it in silent. Fix your CV in silent. Fix yourself in silent. Fix your interviews in silent. Prepare yourself, your heart, your soul, and your mind in silent. Apply for that job in silent, and actually watch God grant you that job and watch you prosper and become a beautiful person and grow in that job in public. Because you don't need a person's validation in order for you to send your CV to a certain company. You don't need a person's validation in order for you to start applying for housing. You don't need a person's validation in order for you to do anything at all. I mean, if you really, really seek validation that bad, go talk to your parents or your grandparents. I'm not gonna say your aunties and your uncles, because some of you guys have bad aunties and bad uncles, but find that one person in your family who you know that this one is my fighter, your prayer warrior. Find that one person. And if you cannot find that one person, then like I said, GPT is your best friend, guys. Like, eliminate speaking your things before you actually start them. And that's the definition of being consistent in finance. It's the quiet force that will give you eternal happiness and financial peace. So back to consistency. We realize that consistency means showing up. So during the research again, I actually realized that consistency has to do with showing up as a person, and I feel like that is where we are lacking. We lack showing up for ourselves. We lack showing up for the events. We lack showing up for the business idea. We lack showing up for things that actually truly matter. And building consistency involves you showing up for the things that actually truly do matter. The things that you know that if I show up here, I will be building a fortune for myself, right? And for example, I'm going to take you into what I'm currently doing, which is I've started exercising. I started working out 3 weeks ago. I've been trying to exercise the past couple of months, but I've been on and off. And this is my first time ever since I started being consistent like this. And I must say, it is not easy to actually show up every single morning and do the exercises. But what I did is I trained myself that the moment the alarm rings at 6 o'clock, I wake up and I fix my bed, so I don't go back to bed. Before I even go to the toilet, before I even go drink water, I actually fix my bed so I can set myself in the mood that I am working out today. Even when I do not want to work out, I really do push myself to actually do that, because I want the results and not the process that is currently happening. But unfortunately, for me to get the body that I want by the end of the year, I need to go through the process that is currently happening. So it involves showing up for yourself even when you don't want to show up. showing up for your business ideas even when you do not want to show up, you know. And what motivates me to fully show up in my life, besides that body that I want at the end of the year, is what I will always preach and what I'm going to preach throughout the entire channel, and that is generational wealth. Guys, I'm all about building generational wealth, and if you know me, you will know that that is the one thing that I preach every single time. We need to break those curses. We need to do better than what our parents did. We need to build those generational wealths for our children so that they can enjoy their life and they can have it a bit easier than we had it. And even in a time where I know that I will no longer be able to wake up and go to work every single day, I have created enough wealth for me and my family to sit down and actually enjoy and reap what it is that we sow. So that is currently what me and my partner are all about. We are literally all about building generational wealth, and it's not gonna come easy. There's many challenges that we have along the way, but because we see where we want to go and we see the final picture, that is what motivates me. So I found what motivates me. What motivates me is generational wealth. I want to retire comfortably. I do not want to be forced to retire at the age of 60 or 65 because I don't know what I'm going to do with myself afterwards. In fact, I want to motivate myself to retire at the age of 35, if not 40. 40 is too far. But by the age of 35, at least if I can retire from going to work every single day and just focus on the businesses, because that is what I love and that is what I enjoy, you know? So I just want to retire peacefully and comfortably. I do not want to be a burden to my children when I'm older and now they have to take me to homes where people have to take care of me out of their own pocket. No, I want it to happen out of my own pocket, out of my partner's own pocket, from the businesses that we are currently building, so that they can sustain us when we are now old and our knees are no longer able to do the things that they used to do anymore. And the most important thing that actually motivates me to show up regularly is because I would also like to create job opportunities for other people. Unfortunately, we live in an economy where waking up every single day and going to work is not something that everyone can do. And not because they don't want to do it, but because it's just not happening. You know, so many people are sitting at home with degrees and they have nothing to show for it, no experience to show for it. Why? Because businesses want us to have 5 to 10 years experience. Where am I supposed to get that experience if you're not the one who's going to give it to me? So I aim and I hope that the companies and the businesses that I will create will be able to hire new graduates and new people who just completed college degrees or who just completed their trades from college, and the newly fresh people who don't know money but they want to grow themselves. Like, I want to give them that platform to know money and know themselves within our businesses so they can also grow. You know, it's good to reach out to the community in a way where you actually doing job creation. And I believe that your businesses shouldn't only benefit you, but they should be able to benefit the people who are around you, who are unable like you to start the business. So why not employ the younger people who actually need it the most? And the last one is, I just want to be happy. I really just want to be happy in this beautiful life of ours. I want happiness in every way possible. I want happiness in my marriage. I want happiness in my finances. I want happiness in my family and my friendship groups. It might sound like I'm being unrealistic. Okay, so in this book that I'm currently reading, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F***, there's a chapter that says, where is it? Happiness is a problem. So in this chapter where he speaks about happiness being a problem, he asks a question and he says, if I were to ask most of you guys what it is that you want in life, I'm pretty sure the common response that I would get is, I want to be happy. And he says it's unrealistic, and he just disputes the fact that people just want to be happy. However, what I like about Mark, he doesn't just dispute the fact that people want to be happy. He explains his reasons as to why he disputes the fact that people want to be happy. He comes again and he says people want to be happy because they are in love with the idea of what happiness looks like, but they do not want the process of actually achieving that happiness. We are in love with the results and not the process. And that is how we are wired as people. We are wired to actually be in love with the results of us being the people that we want to be in the next couple of years, but we are not in love with the process of going and building towards all of that. And so he encourages us in this chapter to actually change that mindset, change the mindset of wanting to become singers, but not wanting to put in the work in becoming a singer. It's not easy. Basically, to sum up what he says in that chapter is that it is not easy to get where we want to be, but we shouldn't have those unrealistic dreams and not want to put in the hard work. I'm saying unrealistic because it ends up unrealistic because you end up not pursuing it. Make them realistic. Put in the hard work where it is true. So yes, that is why I say I want to be happy. When I say I want to be happy, I don't just mean I see myself there, but I want to be happy and allow myself to go through the process of experiencing everything that it is that I have to experience in order for me to reach the top. Okay, now that brings me to the next section of my conversation, and this is for you guys. I want you guys to listen to what it is that I have to say, and if you can, take it in, absorb, and put it as a question to yourself. As I ask you, what is stopping you from becoming disciplined? What is stopping you from committing? It's not much of a deep question because we all know what stops us from being disciplined, but it requires you as a person to actually sit down with yourself and actually fully introspect on this. And the moment you can hash out the negatives in your life that are stopping you, and not try to add in more positives whereas there's still negatives. Work on the negatives first, hash out those negatives first, then we can start following 10 steps on how to become a more disciplined person. But before you get there, start by eliminating those things that are actually not making you disciplined. Try to get rid of those bad habits, try to get rid of those bad thoughts, try to get rid of those bad things that you do that are just not making you reach where you are supposed to reach. So again, I ask you guys, what is stopping you from becoming self-disciplined? What is stopping you from becoming financially disciplined? I actually want to hear your guys' answers. Please comment down below in the comments box and let's hear what is stopping you guys from becoming self-disciplined and financially disciplined as a person. So during my research, I realized that most of us, the first thing that actually stops us from becoming disciplined is that we lack a clear vision of our goals. We really do lack a clear vision of our goals, and by that, we don't know how to set out our goals correctly. So I have a set of goals. I want to become a teacher. Let's say that's my goal. But I'm not reaching it the way I want to reach it because in between I have friends that keep going out every weekend and I want to please those people. I suck at spending my finances the right way. Instead of buying the right things and paying my textbooks like I have to, I choose to do other things with that money. Instead of showing up and going to my classes, I find excuses to actually skip class because no one is going to force you to go to class when you get to varsity. That is all up to you. So those are the things that would stop you from becoming a teacher. You want to be a teacher, but you don't have a clear vision of how you're going to get there. And what's stopping you from having that clear vision of getting there is because of these little distractions that you have along the way. So try cut out those things that are eliminating your goals. Have a goal, write down, this is what I'm going to become, a teacher, and this is what I am going to do to become a teacher. Write down those steps, regardless of how many, how little, and how small and how big those steps are. Just take your time by investing and writing down those steps that are going to make you become that teacher that you want to be at the end of the day. And don't end by just writing them. Practice those little things as well, because that way you will actually have the motivation that you need. Practice those little things. If you told yourself that every single day when I come back from classes I'm going to rest 4 until 5 and then 6, 7, 8 o'clock, start studying right until 10. Practice getting into that habit of studying from 8 until 10. Get into that habit, and the moment you get into that habit, slowly but surely, naturally your body's gonna follow, and naturally your mind is gonna follow, to a point that if you do not do that, and if you miss that habit, you're gonna end up feeling bad for doing that. So have micro steps that actually get you to the goal that you actually want. Have detailed visions of that goal. Writing it down on your vision board is not enough. You need to envision yourself, see how you're going to get to it, eliminate whatever it is that is stopping you from getting to it, and actually start. Then the next thing that I realized stops some of us from actually becoming disciplined is because we want it perfect or we don't want it at all. That mindset of I want it all or nothing. And it's a good but it's a bad mindset, because most people thrive with that mindset. It like pushes them to do everything in a perfectly way, but you are not making room for error. You are not allowing yourself to fail. And people with that mindset that I want it all or nothing tend to not react well to failure. They tend to not react well to things not going their way. So we need to practice and allow room for failure, allow room for disappointment. Not everything that I do has to be perfectly done. Not every business plan that I follow has to be perfectly followed out. There's going to be hiccups along the way. There's going to be stuff along the way that actually stop you. And that doesn't mean that's the end of the world. No, it can never be the end of the world. As long as God still gives you another day to wake up, then why are you not giving yourself another day to try again? Why are you beating yourself up that much? So people who have that mindset of all or nothing, it's good because it can drive you to get where you are going, but it is bad as well, because some people with that mindset, when they tend to fail, they fail and they just leave it at that. Yeah, they just fail and they just leave it at that. And it's like, okay, cool, I'm not carrying on anymore. I tried this and it's not working. And then another thing that I ran into, and I feel like we are all guilty of all of this, it's believing that overcommitting yourself is good, or having too many commitments is good, or like having too many commitments is good. Do not overcommit and do not overwhelm yourself, because you will burn out before you even get started. Learn how to prioritize your tasks in an orderly manner. Learn how to prioritize your goals in an orderly or a timely manner. And the perfect example I can give us of being overwhelmed is like at work. At work, we tend to want to impress the bosses and the people who are our superiors. So what we do is that we keep saying yes to the tasks that they keep giving us, even though you still have tasks that are piled up. And because you are afraid of saying no, because you feel like that will make you look like you are not a fit employee, you keep saying yes. But what makes you an unfit employee is you saying yes to tasks that are gonna that are gonna force you to now stay at work an extra 3 to 4 hours, which you're not gonna get paid for. And now you're forced to finish it because you told your boss in the morning that yes, sir, I'll do it before the end of the day. But the end of the day is reaching and you are not reaching your deadline. You become overwhelmed as a person. You become tired. So you burn out as a person. And it's not good to try to take up all these good things. It's not good to try to take up all these things at the same time. It's not good to try to take up all these stuff at the same time, because at the end of the day, we are a person. You need to rest and you need time to yourself. You need peace to yourself. So you need to structure your things accordingly. Have a structural plan for yourself. So sit down with yourself and actually see what it is that is overwhelming you. See what it is that is burning you out currently. What is making you tired, and find a way to alternatively work around it. So one friend of mine has so much goals and so much ideas that she wants to pursue for herself. However, she cannot continue because by the time she gets off her 6 to 6 shift, she's tired. They work 6 to 6, 4 days in, 4 days out, 5 days in, 5 days out. And by the time they have that 4 days off or that 5 days out, off. They don't have enough time for themselves to actually pursue what it is that she wants to pursue. And I remember asking her that, why don't you consider actually working day shift? I know day shift has less money, but it has less work. And besides it having less work, you don't become as tired as you are during the night. Our brains are wired to work during the day. I know my brain works well during the day. I cannot work at night. And if I'm gonna have to switch to night shift, where I have to work a shift from 6 to 6 during the night, by the time I come back in the morning, I'm probably gonna sleep another 6 to 6 and wake up 2 hours before I have to go to work. And during my offs now, my brain is gonna be structured to be asleep during the day, which is the time when it's best for you to be productive and awake at night. So she's struggling to structure out her business plans because of that. So my advice to her was simple: just speak to the boss and tell him that you're struggling and ask him to go onto day shift, because there is no reward in trying to impress the boss. And I'm gonna be honest with you over there, like, it's good to work hard, it's good to be noticed at work, but for how long? You are growing someone else's company and you're taking your strength to grow someone else's company. Unless you're the type of person who enjoys doing that, then that's kudos for you. But if you're the type of person who's like my friend and you're ambitious and you constantly want to do something, do a business, run something, then I really feel like it is not worth your time. So that's what I told her, and she says she'll try her best, but I know she'll try her best. She'll probably make it out of night shift soon. Let's just hope for the best. But that's what I'm trying to say. We need to set those boundaries of not overwhelming ourselves and not overcommitting ourselves, setting our time schedules in the right way so that we can also work well and rest well and have reasonable goals as to what we're going to do and how we're going to achieve them. Take small steps, and that is the only way you're going to build, and that is the one way you can actually build your consistency, and that is the one way you can actually develop self-discipline as well. And this one has me because we are all victims. And this is my last point, that I realized that 80% of us are a victim of this, and that is the lack of immediate results. The moment I don't see immediate results, I give up. The moment I don't lose weight in 2 weeks, I stop jogging. The moment I don't get lighter in 2 weeks, I stop that skincare routine. The moment my hair doesn't grow in 2 weeks, I stop using those products. Guys, no, good things take time. Good things take time. So that's the last point that I actually came across, and I was like, we're all victims of this. I'm a victim of that. You are probably a victim of that. We all want immediate results, and if we do not get immediate results, then what is it for? But it comes back again to what I said. Consistency is the key, and the key to being consistent is patience. So if there's anything that you take from my video today, let's try structure it. In order for you to have self-discipline, you need to be consistent. In order for you to be consistent, you have to be patient. Those are the 3 key ingredients that you will ever need. There is no motivational book that you need to read. There is no motivational speaker that you have to listen to every single morning, although they do help you pump up your day. There is no motivational quotes that you have to force yourself to read every single day. You do not have to do those things to actually get you into the motivation. The only 3 things you need to do for you to become a disciplined person is to become consistent and patient with yourself. Patient enough to start all over even when it fails. Consistent enough to start all over even if it fails. You see, these 3 are best friends, and the moment you understand the relationship of how these 3 things work, that is your key to becoming a financially and a self-disciplined person. So yes, guys, that is all that I can say for today, and that is all that I want to say for you guys today. Consistency requires patience, and we need to stop the mentality of wanting to see immediate results, because everything good takes time. You will be in a dark place for the longest time. You will feel like things are falling apart, but best believe that is you actually making way and opening a way to the goodness of the things that are about to come. Yes, that dry season might not be ending. Yes, that winter season might keep pouring over your head, and you might feel like you're the only one that's going through all of that right then and right there. But try to remember that after the rain stops and when the sun shines, it's going to shine so brightly, because during those rainy seasons you were still preparing yourself, preparing your soul, preparing your ideas, preparing your budget, preparing every single thing, that so that by the time the sun shines you are ready to start building on that foundation, and you are strong enough to come back building in that foundation, so that whatever it is that tries to come back and hit you down won't succeed. And guys, like literally that's all I have to say for you guys. I just want you guys to please go back, self-introspect, see what exactly it is that you need to do, see exactly where it is that you went wrong, and fix all of those things, because there are no 10, 20 or 30 steps that you can follow to become consistent and to become self-disciplined if you are not going to start by eliminating the things that are stopping you from getting there. So yes, thank you so much guys for joining me. Thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel today. I really hope that I left something in your hearts, and I really hope that after this video we will go and we will self-introspect and look at what it is that is blocking our paths. Thank you so much to you guys for being loyal to me. Thank you so much for keep on subscribing to my channel, for sharing, for commenting, for liking and engaging with me. It actually keeps me motivated to continue to do the right thing. And even when you don't, I am still going to do the right thing, and I'm still going to post for those few people who are going to see these videos, because we are practicing consistency and we are practicing self-discipline. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day, and until next week, bye.